Great day, everybody. Welcome back to the BreakThrough podcast, discovering new pathways. My name is Omar Mohammed, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. Over there, we have our new co-host. Okay, he can use thumb. What's your name,
Luvon
bro?
Dungeon.
Luvon Dungy. All right. So before we get started, as you can see, we have some special guests there. Just want to go to share my screen. Hopefully, I'm at the right location. And we decided to do something different this year. This is our fourth year with the Breakthrough podcast. So we want to make sure that we make it right. So let me share my screen. There we go. There we go. All right. So this is us. This is the new team here. And I always want to, give a shout out to Leon Robertson the fourth. He held it down with me the last 3 years. This year we have Levon Dungy as the co-host. We'll have an opportunity to do a number of podcasts, and this is one of them. And you can find the remaining podcasts, or the ones we did 3 years ago, at edacmorgan.com. That's EDAC Morgan.com. And as you can see, we're powered by Morgan State University EDAC and funded by the Minority Business Development Agency. And we're looking for you. This is the content that we're looking for the Breakthrough podcast. We're looking to interview those formerly incarcerated individuals who are now entrepreneurs. We're looking for organizations that are offering supportive services to formerly incarcerated individuals, as well as just plain, not just say plain, engaging innovative resources to help entrepreneurs start, operate, and scale their business. So if that's you, shoot me an email. And my email address is omar@edacmorgan.com. So before we go on, we also on Instagram at Ride Small Biz. That's BIZ. And now you want to introduce our special guest, or you want me to do it?
You can do it this time, my friend. I appreciate you.
I hear you. All right, we have our special guest, and she's no stranger to the Breakthrough podcast. Her name is Tashika Booker. Hey, Tashika.
How you doing? Nice
Hey,
to
Miss
be back.
Booker.
Hello.
And now we have her sister, Tameika Campbell. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, Miss Campbell.
Hi.
All right, good deal. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of what you all do, we always ask this question, and I'm at to find which one you were on before, Tashika. I did find the one that Luvon was on in the previous episode. So the first thing we always ask is, how long have you been home?
It's been now at this point, probably well over 20 years, like a very long time.
Okay. All right. And then Tameika?
It was 13
Okay.
years.
Okay. All right. And then, after returning home, what were your plans? We'll start with you, Tameika.
My plans was to go back into cosmetology. Honestly, I didn't really see my life without doing hair. I still do hair now, but it just wasn't the end game. But yeah.
Okay. And Tashika?
I didn't really have any plans. I just knew that it was going to be much harder for me to find a job. So really, I planned on doing something that would be my own, just trying to figure out how and what that would be at that time. I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna talk big about you, Tashika. I mean, this particular show is called Consistent. And Tashika has been consistent with everything with the RIDE program. So I'm not sure. Well, you were in the first.
I
You
was in the first cohort. Yes.
absolutely. All right. So here we go. So you were in the entrepreneurship training program. You were
Mhm.
the first winner in the pitch competition. You spoke
Mhm.
at the entrepreneur the summit that we had, and you did the specialized programming with Mr. Luvon Dungy.
I did.
Consistency,
Full
y'all.
circle.
Yeah, so consistency pays off. And then I'm gonna turn this over to Luvon, where we could talk about the special programming and then how he met, because I don't think you all met before, but how he met Tashika. And then we're gonna go into how you two are doing business now. All right, so I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Thanks.
Specialized. Yeah.
I had the privilege of meeting Ms. Booker in the class. Again, one of those familiar spirits, even though I've never had an opportunity to meet her. What do we run? 10 months for the program?
Yes.
Something like that. And for 8 months, only saw her on Zoom. I think she shared something the first class that either scared or woke up everybody.
Mm.
And it was simple. I didn't know what this was, but I was going to give myself a chance.
Mm.
I don't know what's going to come out of it, but I show up every week. So that speaks to the consistency, Omar. And this sister was honest, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like, I don't even know why I'm here, but I think I'm supposed to be here to do something.
Absolutely.
So we started down this path of, all right, let's not make it real estate driven, because all we're going to do is figure out your why.
Mm.
And Ms. Booker would say, why what? It wasn't until like the second or third class, she says, oh, I understand why, because it changed from that month, and it changed from the first month, and it's changing this month.
Yeah.
Just to hear that, it made me understand, again, what you said, Omar, what consistency looks like. Giving yourself an opportunity, not even knowing why, but you're trying to explore and find out what that why is. So thank you very much, Ms. Booker, for showing up each and every time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that led before we get into your businesses, but that led to another situation. Levon, talk about that, and then we want to hear about your all businesses. The connection.
So we stayed in contact. Miss Booker was that thing that found my why. I'm in it. What are we gonna do? What's next? And I had no idea that Miss Booker's intuition was what it was. I had no idea. Well, I wrote these notes. I wrote these plans. We should start a business. We should do this. We're going to get a logo. We're going to put this thing together and we're going to run with it. Like, wait, are we really going to? The class, we still going to meet every month. So that's what we did. And then an opportunity presented itself, and I wanted to introduce her to somebody to see if that ended and that sort of worked. You know, talked to them for a couple of weeks, and they graciously came down from where they live to sit and just chat. Again, consistency, showing up, not knowing, but willing. So again, thank you for starting the business. You and your road dog Ern came back with logos, and you wrote and your financial thing, and you wrote, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we set the stage for you too. So let's talk about your businesses. Start with you, Tashika.
So thank you, both of you. As always, I always say that every time I meet you, and for continuing this program. But this program has really allowed my businesses to blossom, me to blossom as a person. You know, I'm always still in a place of where am I gonna go next? But I see that the opportunities are more fruitful, and being consistent has been one thing that this program has continued to restore in me. I should say that first and foremost, because in the moments where things start to slow down or they start to feel overwhelming, and I start to feel like, okay, I'm going to draw back or I'm not sure, something else comes along, whether it be you or, Mr. Lubon or my other mentor, Mr. Jackson. And it's just like, okay, keep on going, keep pushing. This isn't it for you. And so this program every year is more than just, showing up to just say, I've been here this long. Like, it's restoring and it's constantly giving me more. So I appreciate you for that. Originally, when I started with you guys, I had Get Laced, which is my baby company, and that's doing customized lace front wigs and hair replacement for really geared towards cancer patients and domestic violence victims. But it's really something that is available to any and everybody. My customer base is teenagers all the way to elderly people. So I've been rocking with that. It's been consistent. We do a lot of online things now because of the business that was started after the program. That has kind of taken a lot of my time, and it's also shifted me in a direction in where I never would have thought, which right now both my sister and I are working for my new mentor, or I should say in addition, another mentor, Mr. Marvin Jackson. And he's for 20 years now been working with Carpet for Pennies. We started out, he just did an introduction from Mr. Luvon. I didn't know what he needed. He didn't know what he needed. He kind of just explained to me that, he does commercial bidding on projects in the Baltimore, Maryland, and Virginia area. He doesn't really have structure. He's losing a lot of business because, things are not really structured. So myself and my sister came in, structured, restructured everything, created processes, started bidding on contracts. So we're close to winning our first contract. But I mean, the money that's coming from this is life-changing. But more than anything, the opportunity, because this opportunity opened doors for me to open doors for my family. And he put trust in me off the strength of Mr. Luvon, off the strength of you, off the strength of this program. And so, it's just like everything has come full circle and it's just growing. So, I thank you guys for that. But I don't know where year 10 of this program is going to be, but I'll be right back here riding with y'all.
I hear you. That's right. That's what we call a ride for. All right, Tameika, your turn.
Well,
Talk
I guess
about your
I
journey.
can start by saying thank you too, right? Because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be sitting here next to her right now. Because basically everything that has been a blessing to her has absolutely been a blessing to me. Even before Mr. Jackson came into the picture, she was still telling me things that you guys were teaching her after the program. Every time she got off of a Zoom meeting, she would call me and be like, girl, guess what I found out? So, because I have my own company too, which is Whipped. And it's basically a shea butter company. It started because I started making my own scents for myself. And while doing hair, my clients always be like, what do you got on? Or what is that smell? And so it started from giving away half jars to making them their own jars to starting up the company. So in addition to that, I also work with Tashika and Mr. Jackson now, doing the flooring company. And again, being a young Black girl, you don't always get these kind of opportunities to fall into your lap where you can make these amount of dollars, you know what I mean? So for me, it's a super blessing to be able to ride beside her, and walk along this path with her, because we always had big dreams, but to actually see them start to come to fruition is a whole different feeling, So absolutely, we're always here to support other women, and we want to be able to do this so that from this, we can bring it to our next generation.
I like that. I like that. So as you say, it's full circle, but it's also being in the right place at the right time and just being consistent. And
Yeah.
and Tashika has been really consistent, and I'm glad. Well, Levon has been consistent as well, and so having that connection. When he told me about that, it's like, wow, we need to talk about that. We need to
Yeah.
brag about this opportunity, and now you two have
Mhm.
this opportunity that you're helping and you're partnering ownership with an individual that needed help, and that's what this is all
Mhm.
about. Now, oftentimes people are not going to just start a business, but they get started or they pick up some skills to help other individuals. So,
Right.
congratulations to you both, and kudos to you too, Luvon, for making that connection as well.
Thank you. And Ms. Booker sat there in the chair, and I tried to negotiate this transition as easy as possible. I said to him, Marvin, don't ask them for no money. Don't ask them for this.
Mhm.
They need you to deposit X in a bank account for them. I knew that Ms. Booker was going to do all the paperwork because I've already seen that.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
know that she would open the bank account, just press the button and transfer the money to get her started because I believe in this system.
Yeah.
I do. And I did. So did he transfer money into the bank, give it to you, open an account?
Yes, and since then he's financially, it's a big thing with number one being previously incarcerated and getting the opportunity to be in a room with someone who has been and also put me around multimillionaires. And from the moment that we had that meeting, he's consistently made sure that he has paid us for our worth and more. It hasn't been inconsistency in between that. And so since then, it was almost like I show you what I got, you show me what you got. And that's how it's been. And it's almost like he took a chance on me based off of, what I showed to Mr. Luvon and the consistency within this program. He knew that I was going to show up. And so it's, he's been doing that and it's been fruitful since.
And let me say this. We don't often say it out of our mouths, but oftentimes when people know your background, you worry about people trusting you because of what you already know, no matter how long ago it was, no matter what it involved. I've evolved as a person, but you don't know that yet. So now I have to prove something to you, and you go in with that mindset and that fear. Will you trust me to let me show you what I really am capable of? Not the title, but the person. So it matters that he really, and not only brought in my sister, but he brought me in too in full faith. There was never a question of, she said, I'm not leaving her behind, so it's not an option. And it was never a question, but we've proven to him. And now it's like, you say a mentor, but he's like a dad figure, like,
Yeah.
you can talk to him, you can call him, he understands you. And we now have a mutual feeling of trust and understanding. It's not, oh, I have to prove myself anymore. We're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's what's interesting. When I introduced them, I told both of them this what Marvin is doing for them, he did that same thing for me.
Mhm.
And because I knew Ms. Booker's why, I knew that she would work. Because my why, when I first started, ultimately became her why.
Mhm.
I heard that y'all are 3 websites further down. So now you see when Marvin asks me for something, I'll make sure he has
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are just doing phenomenal. 3 websites later, the bank accounts, the bidding, the business, your daughter, I mean, your sister, y'all just
Yeah. Thank
proud.
you.
I'm proud. I'm just proud.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's all about that consistency too, because we've had,
Yes.
well, shucks, I mean, it's been almost close to 300 people who have we've touched in different aspects of the RIDE initiative. And, there are some that, we see and come back. Consistency is key because you never know when the opportunity is going to present itself.
Mhm.
That's why you see let me move this way. You see the RIDE, the I is,
Doors open, yeah.
we're giving people pathways to new ideas, pathways to new ways. So that's what we believe in, and that's why we want to continue to not just, even when the money, well, we ain't gonna say that the money's will continue to come, but it's not about the money, it's about the lives that we're impacting.
Mhm.
Because when Luvon mentioned that you were doing your thing, I'm like, what? I'm like, we have to call her.
And she didn't call me, Doc. I had to have third
Yeah,
party.
It
we,
got so real so fast. It
yeah,
really did.
But that's what I told you. You saw how direct I was when we sat and I made the introduction. I said,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a whole bunch of people's time. Marvin, I trust this sister because she just spent 10 months with me. I know that she can do this, and this. I need you to do X. And then on top of X, I need her not to worry about money the moment I leave here.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. Yep.
Isn't
And
that how clean I
everything.
was?
Yeah,
That's how
it was.
clean I did it.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's all about you know, just being I keep saying consistency. All right, so let's go back to the business piece, y'all. You know, I know you're working on that part, but you all have your individual businesses as well. You
Yeah.
know, how do you manage or how are you managing, you know, your individual businesses and the other opportunities that are coming your way?
We're managing.
This is where
Good
I come
answer.
in. This is where delegation comes in
Yes,
because
it is.
I
Yeah,
need you to do this. I need you to do that. And it's okay because we're a team. You
yeah,
got to be able to know when to be smart about outsourcing.
Mhm.
Timelines matter.
yeah.
Deadlines matter. And for us, that's the most important thing is not missing anything that's very important.
Right.
So listen, people could say like, oh, well, how do you feel working with your sister? You know, she's your older sister. Listen, she's been my boss my whole life. So it's not the difference. Okay? I know my position, okay, but I'm smart too. I know an opportunity when I see it. I won't let her do this alone. I got your back. Let's start from the beginning and get to the end. It's okay. It's all about, like you said, consistency. So every day we game plan.
Two things from the beginning, when I very first attended the first session, the one thing that was repeated was all you have to do is show up. All you have to do is come back. And I was just like week after week, and still now, like even I was so busy just now, I did not realize that the podcast was about to start. And I'm like, motivation sometimes doesn't come from, it doesn't come so easily, but it's like, okay, I know the moment I start talking, I don't regret doing this. And so it's like a constant push. I keep on showing up and I keep getting exactly what I need to keep me going. And it just feels like coming back when we had our very first session this time, you guys spoke on, I said something about managing time and you guys said something about outsourcing. And my sister just mentioned words though, we want to know everything about both of our businesses individually as well as this business before we begin outsourcing so that when we bring someone in, we can bring them in to know what we know and we can trust that they can handle everything. So right now it's important for us to rely on each other and not, burn ourselves out, but we need to know everything that we're learning right now because we're also still new small business owners. We just got a really big opportunity. So we're still learning and we're still trying to figure that out, but we're heavily relying on each other and then making processes as we go. So when we do bring someone else or bring opportunities for other people, it'll be a smooth transition.
Yeah, and I like the word, processes. People always say, "Hey, I'm a solo entrepreneur. How do I duplicate myself? So that I'm doing everything." And I think Tameika, you hit it. You said outsource. Outsource and put those processes, those systems in place, so that you're not, of course, in the beginning you're doing everything, but you're documenting it. So when individuals come in, you can say, "Hey, here's our employee handbook, our standard operating procedures. This is what you need. This is what not you need to do. This is what you do in order to take your business to the next level." So yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're doing that, and having somebody that you can nudge each other. So it's not just you doing the business.
That's
Yeah.
the entrepreneur curse and blessing.
So.
Figuring out how to create a culture
Mm-hmm.
that no matter who walks into the culture, they will see the oneness in you two and how you support. The culture will lend itself to telling them, if you can't support this, you can't participate. And they will remove themselves based on the environment that you create.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that it's really, I mean, the journey is so beautiful. And Tashika, you'll never hear me say we're going to fail, it's not good. You've always heard me say the journey is good.
Yes.
People want the journey to start and stop and end at the same time.
Right.
But by creating the environment that you based on what you said, to invite people to participate. Who would have thought that a year, 18 months later, now you're thinking, how can I help others?
Right.
Wonderful.
Mhm. And he's allowed and trusted us to put us in the position to allow us, to create that environment for other people, which is so important to us, because how did we get here? We got here because this program, took a chance on us and gave us that opportunity. So it would only be fair. And as far as, the processes that we're creating, just really thinking ahead, sometimes you get from, oh my God, this is so hard, to I'm up at the top, and you forgot about the process, how you got there. You forgot about that along the way, so now you don't have time to sit down and create that. So with us, yes, it is double work, and I'm telling you, the time and dedication that it takes is really unbelievable. Sometimes we're working from morning until next morning, but we get it done. And we know that, we're creating a smoother process for us in the future. And our future, where we thought it was going to be way further down the line, where we're going to be, in the position where we want to be, it's around the corner for us.
I love that. I love that. All right. So we should have did this in the beginning. So website. So how can people get more information about Get Laced and Whipped?
So for me, I'm still on Facebook, just facebook.com/getlaced. And then I also have my Square store and PayPal store, so people can purchase directly from those websites or contact me through direct messages for custom orders.
All right, before you go, Tameika, so Get Laced, spell it out, Tashika.
Tashika. They've been doing that all our life.
Yep.
It's GETLAYCED. Get laced all together.
All right. Thank you. All right, Tameika, your
For
turn.
me, I have a Instagram page for Whipped, but I am redoing it right now, so it's not active. I'm
Okay.
relaunching everything this August because I told you I'm doing new containers, everything like that. So just stand by. Just stand by for.
Now, would it be this? What? Oh, you on mute? Yeah. Would it be the
Sorry,
same
it's fine.
IG
You can
handle?
actually contact her through the Get Laced page as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Can you repeat that one more time?
I'm sorry.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I have one thing to say. I was just going to say that I think that one of the best things about your program is that you inspire hope. A lot of people coming from a situation or the type of background where you've been incarcerated, you don't have hope. A lot of people say like, well, nobody will hire me because of this or that. But if there's something like this that exists, that gets out to more people, you restore hope. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing, because to feel like you're fighting a battle that you can't win, why am I fighting? You know what I mean? But when you feel like there's hope for you at the end of the road, that's a beautiful thing. So I really appreciate what you're doing.
Same. And I could just say that with this program, one of the biggest things that a lot of people need to see, and that me and Mr. Luwan talked about time after time, when he asked me, like, why do you think people don't show up? And I'm like, for me, if it's somebody that I don't know personally, I can hear a story, but I don't really believe it because I don't see your journey, and I don't know, if this is really truly something that happened. And I can sit here and say that this happened from a Facebook click on an ad that I was just scrolling. I was doing nothing, I had nothing going on, and from that moment, that really changed my life. I didn't have to spend $1. I've gotten so many opportunities. I've made so many connections. I have had so many blessings from just taking opportunity to venture into something that seemed like it was unreal, but it really was not. And honestly, a lot of people spend idle time on social media and they use it the wrong way. There are really resources out here that can help you. And instead of sitting in sorrow and what you think that you can't do, or what the world label has put on you, you have to recreate and you have to rebrand yourself. So I appreciate you guys for allowing me that opportunity to blossom and to, just allow to continue to inspire.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you too as well. And, thank you for the impact that you're having, not only on other people, but on yourselves as well and each other. So
Yes,
I appreciate you all as well. And Mr. Luvon, any final thoughts?
I think Ms. Booker said it best because we did talk a lot about why people.
Yeah.
Uh, people people don't understand success until they see it.
Hmm.
People don't understand encouragement until they see it. People don't understand pain until they see it. I think your story is a triumph of all of that. I hope that Omar can extract stuff from your story to use in other stories across EDAC to show that consistency, as you alluded to earlier, Omar, is really the winner or the driver. And inside of your consistency, your why sort of comes out, and then all of the other blessings show up.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for being consistent to stay in the race, get out of the bleachers, and participate in the game. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Deal. Thank you. And before we leave out, let me just do this really quick leave. And that is to really showcase, the activities that we have available at Ride and no cost. We just need your time. The entrepreneurial training program, I think Chicken, when you did it was a 6 week program. Now we have it down to 3 hours, and then we're going to go back to our 8 week training. We have on demand, excuse me, on demand content, the Breakthrough podcast, Ride University, and we'll have a number of master classes. We have business assistance for those who are looking for guidance for their business on their business journey. And then we have our annual event. And Tashika was one of our keynote speakers last time we did it. So thank you both, Tashika and Tameika. Thank you for coming on to
Thank you.
Breakthrough Podcast, Breakthrough Podcast. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. And don't forget, until next time, continue discovering new pathways. My name is Omar Mohammed. That's Luvon Dungy over there. And we're helping you improve and progress in business and in life. Peace.